forward, one of the Scorpion tanks is going to actually rank up, and more EMPs keep. One click comes out for MasterLeaf, hitting the bulk of the forces of ChaosSiT, but ChaosSiT is... Welcome to Kane's Wrath! I'm your host, Korak, and today's map is on Hampstead Gardens. Item of note: this is my mixed bag series, where I take replays I have been sent or have found and try the best I can, making them into an interesting cast. We are on patch R22F. Start us off on the bottom left-hand corner, wearing the purple robes and the Traveler 59 gloves, we have ChaosSiT. Over on the top right-hand corner, wearing the cyan robe, sporting the Traveler 59 gloves, here is MasterLeaf. Both fighters ready? Begin! Here we are, back in Hampstead Gardens, a good standard 1v1 map for fighters who want nothing to do with blue Tiberium. Let's see how ChaosSiT does against the Leaf. Looks like ChaosSiT and MasterLeaf have both elected to do relatively standard openers. There is nothing crazy for them as of yet. They have both grabbed their Tiberium spikes. They have both mirrored each other in buzzers as of right now. I take that back. It does look like ChaosSiT was able to either win his engagement. It does, yeah, he won his engagement with the buzzers over there and was able to get a good scout off on MasterLeaf's base. MasterLeaf winning the other scout fight over here on the left side of the map and moving his way into his opponent's base to see if anything is going to be weird or off as of right now. MasterLeaf has also grabbed his his two Tiberium spikes as of right now, and it looks like ChaosSiT is the first to move his drone trip in this mirror matchup. Not sure we have anything going on real ridiculous as of right now. MasterLeaf's still just a little bit behind on that expansion. I am super curious to see what kind of plays we're going to see. I'm curious to see if we're going to see tripod versus tripod, or if we're going to see a bunch of gun walkers or a bunch of air units. There's also room for Mechapede and all kinds of stuff here. It would be interesting to see how Mechapede does versus Mechapede. I don't think I've seen that part of a mirror matchup before, so that would be truly interesting on my side of things. And maybe MasterLeaf is actually starting up something a little bit different. He still has not moved over to his natural expansion. However, ChaosSiT hasn't developed his natural expansion either. He's just popped out a couple of descents and gunwalkers, sort of either preparing for an assault or getting an assault ready on his end. MasterLeaf has begun his move to his natural expansion, and he's elected to go for Corruptors right out the gate. Corruptor and Cultists right out the gate. So maybe his goal is to grab some of these gun walkers that he's hopefully predicting that his opponent's going to use, and use those gun walkers to take out the descents or whatever they can get their hands on. A common strategy for descents early on is to go after a Tiberium spike, so maybe that's what he was looking for. But they are going to see this Corruptor starting to move in, and this Corruptor is pretty isolated. My guess is that this Corruptor is going to be a scout for MasterLeaf. However, the Cultists do move in and take it rather unceremoniously. Second Corruptor moving in and getting taken down just as quickly. However, there's a Corruptor healing a Corruptor, stopping a whole bunch of the damage and soaking up all the damage that they possibly can. Other Corruptor gets taken by the Cultist once again and continues to be moved in and out of this fight. This is an absolutely silly strategy from MasterLeaf, using these Corruptors, just healing over and over, using them just as absolute tanks, and he's got mass Cultists as well as a lightning spike over on this side of the map. I'm really surprised to see this work. This is fantastic. The Gunwalkers just cannot get a kill. I say that, and there goes one Corruptor. Nope, no, he's still alive. That Corruptor is still up. They're just not able to kill these Corruptors as of right now, and they've begun their assault on this drone ship early on, forcing ChaosSiT to back up his drone ship super early. He does have his natural expansion ready, and he is moving descents into the base of MasterLeaf, while MasterLeaf is doing this assault and losing a couple of cultists over here on this side. The looks like the Corruptors just weren't quite in a good spot. It looks like one Harvester is probably going to go down for ChaosSiT in the north. He was able to use those ascents to great effect, and the cultists have grabbed a Gunwalker in the south, have grabbed a Gunwalker of ChaosSiT to start dealing damage to his opponents. And it looks like we have a Corruptor from ChaosSiT. He's stealing a point, or he's stealing an idea from MasterLeaf. None of these Corruptors have been taken out as of right now. It's Gunwalkers versus Corruptors versus Cultists. This is absolutely ridiculous, and this is exactly the kind of stuff I love to see in these mixed bag mashups, these weird combos that you just almost never get to see. The cultists for ChaosSiT are getting pretty isolated over on the left-hand side of the map, while these Gunwalkers are doing all the damage they can possibly do, but unfortunately they're doing the damage to one of their own Corruptors, which is going to be extremely unfortunate. It looks like MasterLeaf is crumbling just a little bit here. I take that back. It's hard to see with the Corruptors. The mist they spew out is a little disorienting, but they're not being taken out just yet. It looks like ChaosSiT has decided to go for the cultists instead of the Corruptors, but that gives the Corruptors time to take out the portal that was sitting over here, and these Corruptors just absolutely are not going down. There goes another one finally being taken out, and these two Corruptors are finally isolated from the rest of the group. The Gunwalker and cultists, or Gunwalker and Corruptors of his opponent of ChaosSiT were just too much to deal with. It does look like the final bit of cultists were taken out over there by, I believe, a buzzer squad. That's going to be unfortunate for MasterLeaf, but so far all of this is diversionary tactics, and there is the lightning spire starting to go after, the lightning spike I should say, starting to go after the reactor. It's not going to be able to get it, but it is going to make ChaosSiT forced to spend resources to repair it as of right now. MasterLeaf's natural expansion has begun to develop quite nicely. They are about in the same spot when it comes to their infrastructure setup. It looks like MasterLeaf has at least one portal set up beforehand, but the forces of ChaosSiT are just a little bit stronger as of right now. But even if they make it over to the other side of the map, not only is MasterLeaf going to be able to see with this lightning spike, but he's going to have time to build up his forces before ChaosSiT makes his way over there. It does look like MasterLeaf has transitioned over into his T3 as well as ChaosSiT, so we may see some tripods here in a little bit to begin this engagement off. ChaosSiT looks to be the first one to put down the regrowths on both of his expansions, his main base and his natural expansion, I should say. There is our first tripod for the match, built by ChaosSiT, bolstering the forces he already has, bolstering these Gunwalkers, bolstering these Corruptors, so that's going to be super great for him. The lightning spike is going to catch the forces of ChaosSiT moving forward right after they were able to get a Gunwalker. There goes the stationary scout for MasterLeaf, and actually ranking up one of these Corruptors. I don't get to see that very much. I really don't get to see ranked up Corruptors whatsoever. MasterLeaf trying to get in some scouting with his Gunwalker. He's able to get a little bit of things here and there, but oh no, his Prodigy gets taken out before anything can happen. These buzzer squads were just Johnny on the spot. They took it out in no time flat, foiling MasterLeaf's plans as of right now. MasterLeaf using some buzzer squads to scout around inside his opponent's base, and probably going to move here in a little bit. It does look like ChaosSiT has noticed that MasterLeaf has grabbed the EMP control center over here, but it's not going to last very long at all. These buzzer squads are also going to be taken out for almost for free, and MasterLeaf's not looking in a great position as of right now. He has a lot of units on his border, and he keeps sending these onesies and twosies of units ChaosSiT's way. It does look like we got the capture of some Annihilator tripods by MasterLeaf. He was able to grab these tripods rather unceremoniously. I missed him grabbing that completely. He now owns 2 tripods of his opponent. That's got to be frustrating, unless those were MasterLeaf's tripods that he blinked in and out, which I was not able to catch. I'm not sure as of right now. One of the tripods does seem to have gone back, so it looked like those were actually captured tripods. One click comes out for MasterLeaf, hitting the bulk of the forces of ChaosSiT, but ChaosSiT is all over the place. Tripods keep trading hands left and right. This is absolutely silly to keep track of. The forces for ChaosSiT are just absolutely stuck right here, but they are inside MasterLeaf's base, and they're here to do damage. MasterLeaf is not looking in a great spot. It's 3 tripods versus 3 tripods and everything else that ChaosSiT has to offer. MasterLeaf does not seem to have an answer to any of this right now. Another tripod trades hands, I believe, unless he was able to get a crush. No, that is a traded tripod that's actually getting healed by the corruptors as of right now. Another prodigy gets sniped. MasterLeaf losing another lifeline over there. That is extremely unfortunate as of right now. Tripod switch back control once again to MasterLeaf, killing tripod after tripod, and somehow MasterLeaf has managed to come back for this. Somehow MasterLeaf has managed to wrestle control of this fight from ChaosSiT. Cultists are still here to grab what tripods they can where they can, and the big problem for ChaosSiT is going to be if he does not destroy these husks. This is a lot of husks on the field for MasterLeaf to grab. The one click does happen for the corruptor, the one click does happen for this tripod, and I believe that's what he's going to try to do. I think he's going to try to get what crushes he can while he's running around, but it does not look to be super successful as of right now. That one click's going to run out relatively quicker, and here comes some buzzer squads to take out the cultists of MasterLeaf rather unceremoniously. Now we have buzzer squad versus buzzer squads. Tripods are finally starting to move in and push those buzzer squads just a little bit out. Buzzer squads just not able to find any purchase where they need to, but the Annihilator tripod and the corruptor just almost make it out. And oh no, the corruptor didn't go far enough. The tripods continue to move on top of it. We have the assimilator out over here. Maybe that's what I was confusing for the prodigy for Traveler 59. I'm not entirely sure of all of the capabilities of these assimilators. Okay, the assimilators are engineers. That makes a lot of sense. He made those in order to try to take over what husks he could, but there were no husks to grab as of right now. Prodigy is going to grab the Annihilator, the engineer for the opposing faction, and probably walk him back into his opponent's base and either capture something or force him to kill that Annihilator. We have another prodigy out on the field for MasterLeaf. MasterLeaf has grabbed the natural expansion, has grabbed the drone platform of his opponent, and has absolutely sold it off. That was a great move. He was able to use that prodigy to awesome effect while EMPing this Eradicator Hexapod. Things are not looking super great for ChaosSiT. Losing that drone ship is going to cost him a lot of money and a lot of time, especially if he loses this Eradicator Hexapod, and I think it is too little too late to save this guy. No, he gets it just at the last minute. There is barely any HP left on that Eradicator Hexapod. He can trip on a ladybug right now and absolutely eat it. That is absolutely fantastic. I cannot believe ChaosSiT was able to save this Eradicator Hexapod with such little health. He really just needs like a fart from a flea to be taken down. However, he still did lose his drone ship to the Prodigy sell-off. So that's going to put money into MasterLeaf's pocket and drastically slow down the expansion of his opponent. MasterLeaf just beat an absolute pest with these prodigies. These tripods just not able to do a lot of damage to the other prodigies. There's nothing really to fight them as of right now. Annihilators are starting to move, simulators are starting to move in, and they're picking up some of the corpses that were taken down early on. Those are going to be some good points back in the pockets of ChaosSiT, which he really needs. He needs to get some more assimilators out there to get more of these units forward, but it looks like the corruptors are here for his opponent, and the grabbing of more and more tripods has begun to happen by MasterLeaf. MasterLeaf has just been an absolute pest, capturing these units left and right, killing what little tripods are on the map. And speaking of, there goes another one right now. There's another corpse. I'm assuming he used a force attack to kill another tripod while he moves his assimilators and has his corruptors over here on the front side of the map. One assimilator does get sniped, but an Annihilator tripod does pop up almost able, actually completely able to save it. So that is going to be one tripod back for ChaosSiT. There are just tripods being traded left and right in this match. This is fantastic to see. There are more corruptors on the Annihilator tripod on ChaosSiT's side. Should be enough to force MasterLeaf out of this area, but this entire time, ChaosSiT has not been able to harvest his secondary natural expansion. MasterLeaf has just been an absolute pest, using these prodigies, using these corruptors, using all of these delay tactics that he can possibly get his hands on to push back his opponents. And we do get the blink forward by the Annihilator tripod, and the Eradicator hexapod does get EMP'd, and its rear armor is getting targeted. The corruptors are here, and they're going to do everything they can to try and save it, but MasterLeaf is still being a pest with those prodigies, taking over some of the corruptors, having them deal damage to the Eradicator hexapod instead of healing it like he needs. Then there goes the Eradicator hexapod, the veteran from the last fight, finally getting taken out. He went all the way back down from low health to high HP, and there is the GG that did the more morale damage on ChaosSiT. MasterLeaf somehow was able to turn that around and just be an absolute pest with prodigies, with cultists, with tripods, with assimilators, with everything. I think that's probably one of the best mirror matchups I have seen in a good while. That's the match, Commander. It's time for a quick break before the next piece of action. I'll see you there. There you are, Commander. Our next match is on Tiberium grounds. Today's clash is brought to you by Galactic Gumballs. Chew on the taste of the cosmos. Here he is on the top side of the map, wearing the cyan robes and the marked of Kane gloves, the man himself, UnderWorldFox. His opponent in this moment in the bottom side of the map, wearing the red robes, sporting the black hand gloves, the You Can't See Me Phantom. Both fighters ready. Tiberium Grounds is a much larger map that we don't normally get to see in 1v1s. It starts fighters out fast with 2 Tiberium spikes and a very large natural expansion per player. It then delves into the late game, moving us over to a growing Tiberium field with a neighboring blue Tiberium field to get us started. Let's see what kind of battles unfold, shall we? Looks like the standard opener is to grab a couple of facilities in the center. There is no reason not to. They will get view of the surrounding area and not have to pay a whole bunch of money to get those scouts ready in the center to see if something sneaky is coming, since that is the shortest route in between both players. No matter where they go, the center is definitely the fulcrum of this map. We do get our first set of bikes over here by Phantom moving in on the left-hand side. Maybe Phoenix, or not Phoenix, maybe UnderWorldFox will see this coming, but we're not sure quite yet. He doesn't have anything ready and raring to go. He sent his scouts to the other side of the map. We also have a single opening for war factories on both sides, and there are the bikes moving into UnderWorldFox's Harvester's, taking that Harvester down to half HP. UnderWorldFox has nothing to protect this other than the actual repairs. There comes the block from the power plant. Words are hard. There are some defenses for this Harvester, but he gets taken down rather unceremoniously. There it goes. It's been taken out. However, the bikes have been EMP'd, giving UnderWorldFox even more time to prepare for this defense, but losing a second Harvester won't be great if that happens. He did opt to grab this Scorpion tank, which will be his best bet to deal with all of these bikes. Second Harvester is just absolutely refusing to go down, and the Awakens have EMP'd bike after bike, saving the second full Tiberium of this Harvester. That is great for Tiberium Fox. He only lost the one Harvester. That's only going to be a minor setback. As soon as that Harvester gets up and going and it can deposit its resources, he's going to be back in the game with no issues whatsoever. The construction yard for Phantom has moved a little bit ahead of UnderWorldFox as of right now, giving him a small lead, but it'll be marginal unless it goes further into the late game. UnderWorldFox just doing an amazing job with these EMPs. He was able to EMP both the refinery and the harvester, delaying that harvesting as quickly as possible. Here are the shredder turrets to take out the pests, to take out the awakened squads that are over here, and they're going to die rather unceremoniously, but they were able to do a bit of scouting and a bit of annoyance while they could. More awakened squads getting taken down in the center. UnderWorldFox just sort of losing those and deciding to garrison them instead. Looks like the transition for Phantom is going into these Scorpion tanks as of right now. Looks like UnderWorldFox only has the 2 Scorpion tanks over at his main base, but he did transition over into Bike and Buggy, taking out a harvester of Phantoms over here. These these bikes are almost absolutely uncontested. Probably going to be able to get a second harvester over here. There's 1 shot left on that harvester. Is he going to be able to get it? And no, unfortunately, that harvester makes it out with just barely any HP. UnderWorldFox lost a little bit more bikes than Phantom did early on, but he did manage to get himself some revenge. He said, "You took my harvester, I'm going to take yours." Scorpions of Phantom are moving into the center of the map, positioning, posturing, maybe trying to catch this bike-buggy combo over here by UnderWorldFox, but UnderWorldFox is seeming to go around and get what hits it can. He's going to catch the buggies of his opponents over here, the bikes of his opponents, the bikes of Phantom over here, limiting what damage they are going to be able to do. That was a great catch by UnderWorldFox, but while that is happening, these Phantoms have managed to, or these Scorpions from Phantom have managed to take out 1 Scorpion tank, but they are getting pushed out by UnderWorldFox. UnderWorldFox only has a handful of Scorpions, but he has Defender's advantage as of right now, and these units are going to get hurt relatively quickly. UnderWorldFox getting another great EMP off, stopping 3 Scorpion tanks, buying himself even more time. He is still losing units left and right, but he's utilizing the Awakened Squads to great effect. He's losing more and more Scorpions, but the Scorpions haven't been able to focus their time on the Harvester, and that's what the tanks are there for. They're there to soak up the damage so the Harvesters don't get destroyed in their stead. Majority of the Scorpions are down over here on this side of the map. Rocket squads are going to be able to help push them out as a buggy versus bike combination happens over on the right-hand side of the map. Phantom seeming to be losing this engagement. I take that back. He does have actually more bikes than his opponent, then UnderWorldFox taking them out. It looks like one of the Awakened squads, I believe, or it was the Rocket squads, got a rank up from killing yet another Harvester. That, or another Scorpion tank. That Scorpion tank is going to escape with some veterancy, but that'll be minute in the game unless it can go fully heroic as of right now. UnderWorldFox seeming to be on top of it as of right now. He's been able to go tit for tat with Phantom. Phantom also keeping up the pace with UnderWorldFox as of right now. Phantom right now, though, is uncontested over on the right side of the map. There's nothing to stop these bikes from getting any damage in and starting to pick off what they can. He is going to be able to see them coming with this Awakened squad moving forward, but it might be too little, too late. They do have time to still take out one of these Harvesters, but they're not going to be able to get it. The Scorpion tanks are going to be there for the defense for UnderWorldFox, leaving that Harvester just barely alive. Phantom just not able to find purchase in his assaults like he wants to. I believe a Harvester did finally go down. Maybe there was one more bike that I did not catch, and it looks like UnderWorldFox has been pushed out of the center. He has lost the small Scorpion battle over here as the Scorpions move into the natural expansion of his opponent as of right now, bolstered by some of the bike and buggy. They're going to start their assault moving forward. One of the Scorpion tanks is going to actually rank up, and more EMPs keep coming out for UnderWorldFox, buying him more and more time. He has been super great on top of these EMPs, using them left and right to very, very great effect. He seems to be ahead in this Scorpion fight as of right now, but his forces are starting to dwindle just a little bit. The assaults are non-stop over on the left-hand side of the map. There is the obelisk to wipe out what remains of Phantom's force, but Phantom's reinforcements do not stop coming. There is Scorpion after Scorpion and troop after troop moving in. It looks like those rocket squads are still just barely hanging on there as of right now. There's only one left, and he got his second rank as of right now. This poor little rocket squad is going to get taken out, but at least he was promoted before he died. While this assault is continuing, UnderWorldFox has begun an engagement on the Harvesters of Phantom over on the bottom right-hand side of the corner, finding a little bit more purchase, finding a little bit of an easier target than Phantom was over here on this side of the map. That look like, words are hard, it does look like two Harvesters are going to get taken down by Phantom as EMPs hit those Harvesters. That's going to be unexpected, or very, very unfortunate for UnderWorldFox over here. There are just so many Scorpions inside the natural expansion of UnderWorldFox. But the same can also be said for Phantom. Phantom cannot harvest anything whatsoever, and he barely has any defenses. Oh no, a flame tank snuck in and killed the MCV of UnderWorldFox. These blows are still going left and right as it seems to be turning into a bit of a base race. The bike and buggy combo still has not been dealt with over in the bottom right-hand corner, while the top left-hand corner has been dealt with. There are no more engagements on top of UnderWorldFox's base as of right now. Most of the forces are going to chase off these bike and buggies, but still this entire time Phantom has not been able to harvest his natural expansion, while at the very least it does look like UnderWorldFox is positioned to do that, to harvest his natural expansion when he needs to. But the forces of Phantom continue to grow and grow and grow as UnderWorldFox moves a handful of Scorpions into the base of Phantom, starting to target the War Factory, which will definitely slow some of the production, but I don't think they have the firepower quite yet to be able to take that out. UnderWorldFox's forces are starting to group really quick. They do notice the Harvester. Hopefully he sees that on his minimap. That would have been a great kill, but that's going to be unfortunate. He's not going to get an Avatar moving forward, and another great EMP by UnderWorldFox, catching 4 of the Scorpion tanks. That's going to be extremely detrimental for Phantom. There are also rocket squads here to help this support, taking down the flame tank. That's probably going to be one of their biggest threats. That flame tank needs to go down to save those rocket squads. Unfortunately, it's going to be too little too late. Those flame tanks, or that flame tank is going to take out the rocket squad before anything really happens, but UnderWorldFox is on top of this as of right now. This flame tank is putting in some absolute work. It does finally go down in the end, leaving only the Scorpions and the rocket squads of UnderWorldFox ready to go. Phantom is not looking in a particularly great spot. UnderWorldFox is seeming to set up camp in his old main base. War Factory going down to half HP, and this poor lone Scorpion tank is going to get taken out just as quickly as it has spawned. That is going to be extremely unfortunate, and it looks like Phantom has been forced to almost entirely rely on his Tiberium spikes and long-distance harvest as of right now. He did finally get some harvesters set up over back on his natural expansion, while it looks like UnderWorldFox has not yet done the same thing, but he did finally get the War Factory down over on the bottom right-hand side, killing more and more of the infrastructure of his opponent, just whittling him down over and over. There are now bike and buggies over on the natural expansion. Hopefully he sees that and moves those forward and kills what's left of the lifelines of Phantom. UnderWorldFox just being an absolute hammer to the anvil that is Phantom. Another Harvester goes down for Phantom, losing him quite another lifeline. That's not going to be great for him. He only has the 3 Harvesters on the right side of the map, while the rest are long-distance harvesting blue Tiberium. The forces do finally get pushed out over here on the right, but the damage is done. Those Harvesters are going to be extremely, extremely important. Harvester's moving from UnderWorldFox's main base to his natural base while he's harvesting the blue Tiberium as quickly as he can, and these players have to be absolutely starving for resources, especially Phantom. Phantom looks like he is going to lose another Harvester here almost for free. There are a couple more shots just left to take out this Harvester, and there it goes. There goes another Harvester for the cost of 2 bikes and a buggy. That's not a bad trade. Keeping UnderWorldFox on his back foot is keeping Phantom on his back foot is going to be great for UnderWorldFox's defense, because if he doesn't have to deal with it. And oh no, an engineer snuck into the main base of his opponent, taking the War Factory. Phantom just able to sneak in there absolutely like a ghost and get a really great sell-off of the War Factory. I don't think UnderWorldFox was expecting it at all. I know I certainly wasn't. I saw a small bit of red on the map, and I'm just sitting here commentating. Phantom has built up a staggering number of Scorpion tanks. Let's see how he will fare. I believe we're going to see another assault here on UnderWorldFox's base relatively quickly. UnderWorldFox still has a good number of Tiberium crystals over in his natural expansion as of right now, but he will eventually have to transition into his secondary natural expansion, and I think that's what he is preparing for. He's probably preparing for an assault, but this is a lot of Scorpion tanks to deal with. It doesn't look like anybody has gone into really any upgrades other than Dozer upgrades for Phantom, but that is about it. It looks like mass Scorpions are the way to go in this game, and that is what they are doing. War Factory getting some repairs, letting one of the Scorpions soak up a little more damage. It does rank up, but it goes down just as quickly as it ranks up. And Phantom continuing this reinforcement on the front line, pressuring UnderWorldFox over and over and over. UnderWorldFox getting another good EMP, only getting 2 this time around, but still, every little bit counts that he can use these Awakened squads and these EMPs left and right to buy himself more and more time. It looks like he has transitioned a little bit over into Rocket Man Spam, at least a handful of it. They are not concave, though. There are a couple not doing anything as of right now. That may be a positioning thing. He may also just be absolutely overwhelmed by these constant assault. This is so many Scorpion tanks. Another Harvester's going to get taken down. The second Harvester's going to get taken down, and probably a third and a fourth here very quickly. There are the laser turrets for the defense, but I think it is too little too late. This is still a lot of Scorpions to deal with. Laser turrets are going to be able to do a lot to these Scorpion tanks, sort of forcing them to move out along with the rest of the rocket squads, and most importantly, killing a good chunk of those Harvesters. Phantom going back to base to lick some of his wounds and probably begin the assault all over again. I believe at this point for Phantom, it's probably worth selling their refineries. I don't think you really need to, but I could be wrong. I'm very much an armchair commander, but that's just what it seems like from my perspective. Maybe they're worried that their opponent will take out one of the refineries and then they'll have nothing there to harvest. It does look like we get some black hands, probably a sell-off of an operations center over here by Phantom as of right now, but that's really about it. The forces of Underworld are looking a little anemic. He really needs to transition over into this natural expansion. He is long distance harvesting with stealth harvesters, but that's only going to be able to do so much. And it looks like the forces for Phantom have finally begun to move. Phantom has moved out another MCV, possibly going to move into this natural expansion of his opponents. But Phoenix is here. Phoenix is waiting for it to deal with these Black Hand squads, to deal with everything else, and that Scorpion gets a great fantastic kill on those Black Hand squads, taken out before they can do any damage whatsoever. He also has his Awakened squads positioned to get their EMPs off in order to stop some of these Scorpion tanks. Let's see what he is able to get. One Scorpion tank does get taken down, and another one gets EMP'd, so that's going to be Scorpion tank for Scorpion tank. That's going to be super great for the defense of him, the defense of UnderWorldFox, and more EMPs left and right, getting 4 and then getting another 4 right after each other. I'm not sure it's going to be enough to stop this assault. This is still a lot of Scorpion tanks, but that is buying him more and more time. He's bought himself seconds after seconds, EMPing those as quickly as he can. Everybody is moving towards this natural expansion over on this side of the map. Phantom wanting to end this game as quickly as he can, seeing that UnderWorldFox is being an absolute pain and so hard to deal with. Laser turrets are coming out for the defense, and that is appears to be enough to push out the Scorpion tanks as of right now. However, he has moved into a Hand of Nod. He has moved into some rocket squads to start taking out the laser turrets. That is a good call. Those laser turrets are only going to be able to do so much damage against it as of right now. It doesn't look like UnderWorldFox has been able to set up a refinery, but he has been long distance harvesting this entire time, and he's going to have to transition into something to deal with the man spam. Bike and Buggy meets all of the Scorpions over on the right hand side of the map. It looks like the Bike and Buggy were looking for long distance harvesting by his opponent, by Phantom. I'm unsure of how Phantom is able to produce this large amount of man spam, because from what I can see, he's having a very hard time harvesting. Scorpion tanks over on the right hand side of the map so far are uncontested. I'm not sure what UnderWorldFox is going to be able to do. UnderWorldFox's main CV, his main base, is going to get targeted by all of this man spam, but the Scorpions are here to get the crush. But the Scorpions are also not in the north to deal with the Scorpions of his opponent. If I was Phantom, I would be targeting those Tiberium spikes. Those are going to be extremely important, but he's elected to go for infrastructure instead. I guess he can always back up and try to get it later. This entire time, though, UnderWorldFox has continued to harvest this natural expansion, this secondary natural expansion, holding his ground as best he can with turret after turret. He does see that these scorpions are here, but he's letting that infrastructure soak up some damage to buy himself some time. Bike and buggy moving into the old main base of Phantom, and Phantom's infrastructure is looking extremely anemic. I'm not sure he has anything left in the gas tank really whatsoever. He does seem to be producing things. He does finally get some harvesters out, but his economy has got to be hurting. And Underworld, speaking of hurting, UnderWorldFox is now in low power mode. Those laser turrets are going to do him no good if he has absolutely no power. That is extremely unfortunate. I do think this is probably the best time to sell off some of those turrets, to sell off that refinery, because you're going to lose that refinery. You need those laser turrets to move as quickly as possible. Phantom has very little resources left as of right now, but he's doing everything he can with the little that he has, while UnderWorldFox continues to harvest and to move in. Phantom electing to attack two spots at the same time and outnumbering UnderWorldFox in both locations. A power plant is going to come out for the block in this southern push, and hopefully that'll be enough to buy him some more time to get some of these structures out to protect his construction yard. But this is looking extremely grim for UnderWorldFox. He did very, very well in the beginning. He's held off the onslaught. If only he can take out the remaining of these forces of his opponent, these scorpion tanks. If he can take out these scorpion tanks, he can probably irk out a win. He's got to be up on resources, just not up on production. Laser turret is finally powered, and so they're going to be able to do some damage to these guys over here, and it looks like militant squads are going to be the answers to the scorpions still. Not a bad idea whatsoever. Laser turrets doing more and more damage to the scorpions. Another power plant getting blocked out, but it does not look like it's going to be enough to save the construction yard of UnderWorldFox as of right now. He is not out of this game. He can still do a lot. Even if he loses his construction yard, he's still harvesting. If he can just take out the forces, if he can just take out the scorpions of his opponents, of Phantom, then he can do a lot. He can make a big comeback, because Phantom has barely touched the natural resources at his secondary natural expansion. However, he has transitioned into moving and stopping his opponent from harvesting. However, I guess they are stealth, so that is hard. The scorpions do not have any sort of stealth detection, so they cannot take out the lifeline, the supplies of Underworld. Underworld given even more time to build himself out. He still has a war factory, which means he is not out of this game yet. He has time to rebuild an MCV if he wants to, but it looks like he's electing to build forces. That's probably not a bad idea at all. Those towers did not seem to do him too much. I think he should have just used a couple of few and far between laser turrets and maybe had them prepared later on for other battles. But once again, that's Armchair Commander Korak over here talking. And the engagement has begun. It looks like a small amount of man spam, a small amount of man infantry has started picking on the new main base of UnderWorldFox with very, very little success. These Cabal Confessor squads are probably here to deal with the rockets, to deal with some of the turrets and soak up some of the shots. They are going to be good literal meat shields, while the Scorpion tanks are going to be the primary source of damage. But UnderWorldFox is not going to fall for that. He's going to focus his fire on as many of the Scorpions as he can get his hands on. And oh no, I didn't see it before, but there is a heroic Scorpion tank out on this field. I missed it. That's going to be a major threat to deal with. That's who he was targeting early on. That's who UnderWorldFox was targeting early on, but it is still up and it is almost at full HP. That is going to be extremely difficult to deal with. There is an EMP on one of the Scorpion tanks, but the Confessor squads are here to begin this engagement. Now it's Awaken versus Confessor squads, and I think Confessor squads have the advantage. There's nothing to deal with these Scorpions as of right now. These players are running on just absolute fumes. UnderWorldFox does have a large number of militant squads that maybe he has forgotten about over on the left-hand side of the map. This would be a good time to utilize them. This would be a good time to move them. I'm not sure why he is not moving them as of right now. This would be an extremely vital lifeline if he can get his hands on. And there goes the war factory of Underworld. No, it's still up. It's just barely still up. somehow this War Factory has not been taken down. I say that as soon as it happens. That War Factory hung on for significantly longer than I thought it would, and there is the GG. UnderWorldFox has no way to make it back from that, but that almost was his. That fight was almost his. He got so close to winning that match, and using those EMPs left and right. Such an amazing game to watch. Not quite a mirror match like our first one, but still, sub-faction versus sub-faction. Definitely was thrilling on my end. That's it for now, Commander. I have been your host, Korak. Transmission out.